I asked Austin to play some walk-on music. I was not expecting We're All in This Together high school musical. That is an unfortunate movie. Nearly 60% of Americans, so these are some interesting statistics, 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. 60%, which means six out of every 10 people you talk to on the phone are living paycheck to paycheck, okay? The average retirement savings for people approaching retirement, this means they're getting close to that 62, 63 number. The average retirement savings is under 200,000. The average. Yet financial planners will tell you that a comfortable retirement today often requires 1 to 2 million or more. 1 to 2 million or more. So 60% are living paycheck to paycheck. The greater majority have less than 200 grand in savings, which means they do not have enough to make it through retirement. Now, of the 5 people, the 5 one-on-ones that I've met with that have been here in office, the number one thing that they told me they were doing this for is they needed to subsidize retirement. And I asked them, why didn't we subsidize retirement sooner? Right? Why didn't we start working towards this before we became 60, 65 years of age? And they said 2 things. They said, 1, I was too busy, and 2, I didn't know. Too busy, and I didn't know. Okay? So you guys got to understand that our job is to inform them. So here's the solution. Assets and cash flow. The people who survive and thrive financially are the people who control. I'm going to give you 5 things, okay, in ascending order. Number 1, assets. People who control assets. So I am in charge of my 401k, I'm in charge of my real estate portfolio, I'm in charge of my stock portfolio, I'm in charge of my self-directed IRAs, I'm in charge of my whole life policies. They control assets. Number 2, they control capital. Capital is cash, either theirs or somebody else's. When we broker money, we are effectively running other people's capital. So when I become a broker, I insert myself into the position of running capital. Okay? Number 3, businesses. People that own or run businesses. Being a private money broker is a business. Being a real estate investor is a business. So the best thing we can do is get our clients involved in business for themselves so they can generate more income. Number 4 in the list is real estate. Now, isn't it interesting that you need to be controlling assets, capital, and business to then have the means to invest in real estate? And then the 5th one is lending. People who are in control of lending. And so if you look at the natural progression, and this really goes back to stewardship. If you guys look at the example in the book of Matthew from the Bible, it's about stewardship. How well are we managing what we've got so that we can generate more? And as we generate more, we're given or entrusted with more so that we can make more. And so really this boils down to stewardship. And so when we're on the phone with our clients, how are they stewarding what they've been given, right? We're living paycheck to paycheck. Okay, that's 60% of America. No judgment. But are we still spending $8 a day at Starbucks? Are we still paying for things that we need not pay for? Or are we checking our credit cards to make sure we're not getting billed monthly for things that we forgot about or we signed up for? What is the app where you can go in and it'll tell you to delete all these things? What is it? Rocket Money. Okay. I would encourage all of you guys to go to Rocket Money, and it'll scan all of your monthly charges. I did this the other day, and there's $470 in monthly charges that were there. The share of consumer debt in delinquency has topped pre-pandemic levels, hitting 4.8%. In the 4th quarter, the share of credit card balances 90-plus days late reached 12.4%, its highest level since 2011. We were talking about this in executive call last night. I wanted to give you guys some numbers to give you just a baseline of how severe this is getting, okay? 90 days late reached 12.4, the highest since 2011. Was anybody around in 2011? Yeah. Was anybody investing or in the market in 2011? I know some of you were still in elementary school. That's cool. That's all right. 2011 was challenging. And it was a lot of credit card debt, which then, of course, leads to now mortgage delinquency. I was down at auction last Friday with our Lee's Inner Circle clients, and I was talking with Gail. Gail owns Pacific Northwest Trustee Services here in Spokane. She's been down crying sales for over 25 years. Her company is the company that posts all of the late notices on people with a mortgage, people who aren't paying, the tenant evictions, any of those types of things. It's Gail's company that delivers service. So she's the one attaching these notices to the door. And I said to her, I said, hey, Gail, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I said, how's business? Well, unfortunately for Gail, when things are bad, her business is really good. And so I said, Gail, how's business? She says, Lee, we are booming. I said, well, what does booming mean? She said, we are up 500% on postings. Now, let's qualify that, right? Last January or last February, she posted 5 notices of default. This February, she posted 25 notices of default. That's a 500% increase, okay? But it's still significant, it's substantial. And so we gotta help these folks, okay? Because if they're not currently experiencing any of these financial hardships, let's make sure that they never have to by giving them the education and the knowledge they need now where they can weather these types of storms, because so many people are unable to do that, okay? Interest rates are higher, traditional lending is tighter, real estate investors need private capital now more than ever, which means private lenders and deal makers have tremendous opportunity. So when we take all of this information and we mix it together, what do we get? We get a market that is so primed for buying. Now is a great time to be buying real estate, you guys. It's a terrible time to be selling real estate, but it's a really good time to be buying real estate, and our clients need to hear that message. They need to hear it from us. We just saw a new DSCR loan product come out last week, 5.49%. So you can still buy a rental for less than you buy a single family home. Here are the updates on rates, okay? This just came out yesterday, and I'll share the commentary with you. Good morning, Lee. Crude oil spiked as much as 90%, mostly in the past 2 weeks as geopolitical events unfold. Energy costs are inflationary, which has caused interest rates to jump up this past week. Expect this trend to continue as long as the Straits of Hormuz is effectively closed. Make it a successful week. Well, make it a successful week. Remember, guys, last week we had 4 of these categories under 6. Today we have 1, okay? So interest rates are still going up. Well, then, Lee, why is it still a good time to buy? Remember last week's statistic, there's 44% more homes for sale than there are buyers to buy them, which means any house that's currently on the market for sale is sitting for a very, very, very long time, which is why you've seen us as an organization, you guys, we have pulled back on fixing and flipping, and we have gone mainly to wholesaling. Because in a wholesale, we get it under contract, we find another buyer, we sell it to them, we never take possession, which means we're never on the hook trying to sell it to an end user buyer. And until rates adjust, that will be the continued methodology. And the same is true for our clients. I'm telling them the exact same thing, okay? So the message doesn't change for me or for you or for them. Same message for all of us. This is how you win. This is how you strategically position yourself to win.
If you want to learn more, just click the link below.